Instagram name is TertamSista. So ready. And we're connecting, so we should be live with Ange in just a second. And as a reminder, we have some questions for her, but it's really fun to have live questions in the chat. So feel free to type in your live questions. Hello.
Hey.
How are you?
I'm doing okay. How are you?
Good. Thank you for joining us for your Ask Tamily interview. We are super excited to talk to you about your TAM journey so far.
I'm super excited too.
So, we have some questions for you. But of course, anyone that's watching can feel free to type in questions and we'll try to keep up with those. So, your first question is, when and how did you start the Tracy Anderson method?
Okay. So, I started the Tracy Anderson method in August when she had that phenomenal challenge. And it was the 3-month-long trial, I guess, or the challenge it was. And something that's really interesting is that I didn't start it right away. So I think the challenge was like 2 days in. And my sisters had already been doing the challenge since the beginning because my sister-in-law, Aggie, suggested that they do it. And I was like, no way, I'm not doing this. And then when I saw that they were doing it for 2 days, I couldn't sit back and watch. So I quickly jumped on board. Some of my first videos, I was just doing arms. But that's where I really started. But I had heard about Tracy Anderson from my sister-in-law, who's been doing it for years. Probably, my nephew's like 15 now, so probably like 15 years, because I remember when she was pregnant and doing the pregnancy project and then the post-pregnancy project. And so I knew of Tracy, but I was always like, I don't know if that's for me, So I started my journey in August.
Okay, so it's for you now?
Sorry?
Do you know that it's for you now?
It is totally sticking with me for life. Totally sticking with me for life, which is crazy because, my sister-in-law has been doing it for years, and I've always known she did it, and, she's always invited me to do it. And my sisters and I would, roll our eyes, and we're like, I can't believe this girl is trying to get us to do this again, And she was persistent. Aggie was persistent. She was all about, hey, this is helpful for me. If you want something like this to ground you, let's get it started. And we were always rolling our eyes. And then, I don't know, maybe it was the competition of the challenge of August or something that I finally, it was the right timing for me. And now I realize that timing it's really about if I make that time right for myself, and so it's for me. Now I know it's for me.
So what's your routine about your workout and how do you fit it into your life?
So if anybody sees my videos, you can tell that I work out in my office. So, which is probably weird for people, but
it's no problem.
Yeah. So I work out at my job, which I feel very lucky to do that. But the reason why I do that is because I work four separate jobs. And so I don't have a lot of time at home or even energy at home. And so since I work so much, I actually really needed something to help keep me healthy. And I've been able to make sure that I take my lunch hour and, heat up my office, because I've been using a heater now. I know, it's kind of crazy. So I heat up my office, I set up my iPad, I change, and then I get started. And I make sure I use my hour there, and I have my hour of peace. My coworkers know about it, and they know that that's my time. And so they typically don't bother me, but that's how I fit it into every day. And then on weekends, I also make sure to be consistent. It's somehow magically, maybe it's all about timing, it has just become part of my life. It's become part of my routine. I feel like my day's not complete if I don't get it in.
Excellent. So now you've been doing it longer than 6 months. What kind of results have you seen so far?
Whoa, it's been longer than 6 months. August, September, October, November, December, January. Oh, wow. February. Okay. Results. Wow, it's like my 6 months anniversary.
Yeah.
Thanks. We should celebrate. I'm gonna go have cake. So I immediately saw results in my arms. And that was really exciting for me because I've never really had super toned arms. I don't think I've ever really had anything very toned, I have to tell you the truth. And so I immediately saw results in my arms within the first few weeks of being consistent. And then maybe about 3 months in or so of being consistent, I started realizing like, whoa, these ab lines are coming through. I mean, those aren't as consistent, I gotta tell you. Like, if I eat too much, they kind of fade away. but they come back. And so I've noticed some of that. But a lot of that is kind of physical. What I really have felt with my body is a lot more core strength. So I started this program off with a lot of back pain. And I've had chronic back pain for years, for like 5 or 6 years. That was debilitating. I wasn't able to do any of my exercise. I couldn't stand for very long, or sit for very long, walk for very long. Sometimes laying down was really hard. And so when I started doing Tracy Anderson, I noticed a change in my core strength, which, the muscles in your core really wrap around to your back. And my back pain has totally reduced. It's like gone.
Wow.
Isn't that crazy?
That's amazing.
Yeah. So I think that has been a huge change for me, where like I can feel my core muscles really working together finally and not causing me that much pain. Then I post a video where like my hip is totally dislocated and sticking out and it looks weird. So there's still more work to do, but that has been the biggest like physical change for me.
That's excellent. I have a couple of questions coming in on the chat. So the first one is, what kind of an office gives you this freedom to do your workout there?
So I have been very lucky. I'm a psychologist, and all my offices, I can kind of create my own schedule. Not really, because I do work for a major hospital. But if you have a lunch hour, take your lunch hour. There's no way that I could fit a workout in, at 9 p.m. when I come home from teaching my students or something like that. And so I just made it part of my day. And at first, I was kind of embarrassed about it. I wasn't telling people. I definitely wasn't telling my bosses. But I made it part of my routine. The same way that before that, I was going out for coffee or for a walk to make sure that I was able to like take a break.
Right.
Now, that workout has become my priority. So I do recognize that not everybody has like an office with a door, but I'm lucky enough that I do, so I can close the door and really have my privacy.
You can say I'm in a cubicle though if you're brave.
I tell my sister all the time, I'm like, what do you mean? Just bring your yoga mat. It's Well, honestly, this past weekend, I wasn't in my office. I was in a colleague's office because I was covering, and I wanted to get my workout in. So I brought my gym clothes. I forgot my weights and I forgot my mat. And so I found a piece of cardboard. Like, you can make it happen, girl. You have to make it happen.
That's true.
Yeah.
Another question from the chat is, are you an Attain girl or do you do fundamental?
Attain? No way. In the beginning, I was only doing beginners. And at that, just beginner arms. Because of my lower back pain.
Okay.
I was terrified of the twists and the moves. It was very difficult for me to lift my legs. So I was only doing arms. And then probably a month after the August challenge, towards the end of the August challenge, I did my first intermediate class. Only because my sister-in-law was like, yeah, you got this, you can do this, try this. And I've been sticking with intermediate. Every now and then, with a really good Attain class, I dabble in the master class fun. But for the most part, I stick with IMC.
Okay.
more fundamental now, right? Although I will tell you, the one time, the one and only time I went to the studio, the studio, I saw Julie there. I don't know if you know who Julie is.
Yes.
Of course, I'm sure you know who Julie is. Hello. So I saw Julie there, and I said hi to her, and I told her like, oh, I just did this band class or whatever, and she was kind of talking to me, and she also suggested, girl, you just got to jump right in and do a tane, and I was like, I don't know if I'm ready. So every now and then I'll do one, and I feel super accomplished. When it does happen, though, I'll tell you, I have to like trick myself into it. Like on my iPad, I have to quickly press attain.
Right.
It's just the IMC. I just psych myself out about it. I don't really know why.
Yeah. Well, sometimes it is a little bit scary. Do you also do dance cardio?
So every now and then I do. I love Maria Kelly. She's like my dance cardio partner. I actually, whenever I do it, I call her my clubbing partner, and I'm like, hey. It's time to go to the club before 10 a.m. or 10 p.m. actually. But so I like to do it, but because I only get about an hour for my lunch break, I don't usually have time to do it and squeeze fundamental in. Although recently a really good one is Nicole. I don't know her last name, but she's another trainer. She did a really good low impact dance cardio recently. Okay. That was so fun. So every now and then I try some of those.
Awesome. But it's really good to know that, you know, you can have results without always doing dance cardio and without going full force into a tane, like starting, you know, with what you can handle.
Yes. I'm talking about like the first 15 minutes of just doing arms, and I saw such results. You know, and in the beginning, because of my back pain, I was modifying all the moves, and somehow the results were still getting there. And slowly, as I built up the strength, I was able to do more and more. And it still amazes me. Actually, today I had a morning workout. I didn't post about it yet. But I had a morning workout with Aggie, and I'm sitting there, and I'm like, can you believe I can do a sit-up? You know, like, a few months ago, this was not a possibility for me.
Yeah, it truly is amazing.
Yeah.
Here's another question from the chat. What kind of diet do you follow? Do you think that's been an important part of your results?
Huge. So I have been doing, I don't know if you've heard of it, the keto diet. Mm-hmm. So I have definitely reduced sugar and carbohydrates like to the extreme. I try to eat very minimally sugar and carbohydrates, which has been hard because I have huge sweet tooth. But I've been doing that for about a year. So I'm going to throw some numbers at you. I don't know if you're cool with that. I don't think most people talk about numbers, but I'm fine with talking about numbers. When last January, I was at 200 pounds.
Really?
Yes, I was at 200 pounds. And that was at my highest, right? And so I started the keto because I just was not feeling good. My doctors had told me that I was pre-diabetic, so they put me on medication. And I was taking medication for a little while. It wasn't really helping. And I was like, man, I really got to do something. So I was at my highest with about 200 pounds and this medication that was not making me feel well. And my sister-in-law and my sisters, they told me, like, hey, we read about this diet. Like, maybe this could help you. And so I started reducing the sugar and the carbohydrates, and my body felt so much better. I had so much more energy. So between January and June of last year, I lost about maybe 20 pounds. Okay. And then I kind of plateaued for a little while, for maybe June and July. And then I started Tracy Anderson. Dude, I lost another 20 pounds. Ah! It's 25 now because I've been maintaining my diet and doing Tracy.
That's amazing.
20 pounds. And let me tell you, I have so much energy. My body feels just so much lighter. Like, my joints don't hurt. Before, I used to fall asleep during my lunch hour. I would, like, need a nap. I would need to go out for an espresso, or I'd need a nap because my body was so intolerant of sugar. And I didn't even know I was consuming so much of it.
Yeah.
And so, as soon as I changed that aspect of my diet, it, like, everything else kind of fell into place for me. But I'm a strong believer in the idea that not every diet works for everybody. It's
Right.
really about like your body composition and what works for you. And so I know that the keto diet doesn't work for everybody. It works for me, and it's what makes me feel good, like having energy and not so tired and not so swollen in my joints. So yeah, so that's worked for me. But that's what I follow, which honestly is a lot of like proteins. I do have some complex carbs, so like salads, things like that. But mostly it's about getting the protein and fat in. So that's pretty good.
Sharing that, and that's such a good point that everyone needs to find what is right for them. Which is another reason why it's so great Tracy has so many choices, because you have to find the workout too that's the right thing for you.
Absolutely.
So here's another one of our questions that we planned for you, but of course we're still taking a lot of questions in the chat. Who in the Tamily inspires you?
Oh man. Okay, I like this question because I'm such a social person. Well, obviously my sister-in-law Aggie, right? Who I don't know how she tolerated. I feel like it was social abuse. It was like really mean. I don't know how she tolerated myself and my sisters and my family for so many years, because we would, she would kind of come in and we would, and she would tell us, hey, I have this great workout. Like they started a Tamily page, this like Tamily community, and we used to be like, come on, girl, like get some real friends, or like just we were so messed up. I remember there would be times that like, let's say we're getting together for our holiday dinner, and I'd be like, why isn't Aggie here helping me do the dishes? And in my head, I'd be like, she must be working out. And now I realize, like, I could have been doing that too.
Yeah.
Like, I can make time for myself too. And she's always invited me. And she's really been the role model for, like, not only my family, because all my sisters are doing it, and my other sister-in-law is doing it too. And my nephew. Forget everybody. But she got, like, her neighbors, my cousins. We are hooked, finally, after 15 years of watching her.
Yeah.
And so she's been my biggest inspiration, and she's been my biggest supporter. So in the beginning, even in August, I was like, Aggie, I don't think I can do this. I was like, this is really hard. This hurts my back. And she was the one who said to me, girl, start with 10 minutes of arms. Do it with the weights. Just start with the 10 minutes of arms. And that's kind of, and she's the one who keeps helping me like add more to my workout routine or modify it for myself, depending on what's going on in my life. So she's been huge for me. And then other motivators, honestly, anybody. I mean, everybody on there is really motivating, because I like seeing people, who are doing it at 4 a.m. in the morning or at 10 p.m. at night. But yeah, some of my favorites that I've really connected with are my Tam newbies. Like, I feel like we're all like this beautiful little cohort. Let me think about my Tam newbies. Dance Move Shake.
Oh, yeah.
Who's super cute with her Prego bump right now. But I was positive that she was gonna win the August challenge.
Mm-hmm.
I was positive. I was like, this is the girl. She's gonna be the winner. And so I had connected with her right away. And then some of my other Tam newbies, or at least the people that I met during August, Tam Menopausal. She's so fun in England. She cracks me up. PL Tam. She's with the dance move. I'm actually not sure if she streams or does the tapes. But some of those. Another Tam newbie that I've recently gotten to know a little bit is Arlene Tam. There's two Arlenes in the Tam, or there's probably a million, but Arlene Tam. She's got these two little kiddos running around. She's really sweet too. So I've got some favorites, and of course everybody who's supportive of mental health, like Glow Getter Shine. Love her.
Yes.
Oh, how could I not say this? One of my favorites is a person I recently met, Monica Whispers.
Oh, yeah.
Who, by the way, came to my family's Christmas dinner party. It's like fantastic. She was visiting Aggie from Portugal over the holidays, and so I got to spend some time with her.
Oh, that's awesome.
Let me just tell you, when you get into a studio with those two, with Aggie and Monica Whispers, it's like a whole different ballgame. Like, you're not even doing the Tracy Anderson that you regularly do, there is like this like intention that comes with working out when those two are together. It's this crazy energy, and then all of a sudden you're like, I'm invincible, I'm unstoppable. It's crazy, And then other days I'm like, yeah, no, I'm not doing that move. I can't do that move. But with those two around, I'm like, oh yeah, I can do anything. You want me to do backflips? You got it. I'm gonna try it.
Talk about a supportive community.
Yes, it's really quite something. So those would be, and of course, like my whole family's on there. So my twin sister Patricia, I think Patricia Tam, and my sister-in-law and Azizu. I don't know. They're like all in my hashtags half the time. So, but those are my days too.
So one question we wanted to ask was, have you ever been to a Vitality Week or a studio? I know you said that you've been to a studio once. Anything else you want to share with us about that experience?
So I've been to a studio one time. There's a reason why I work 4 jobs. It's not because I am in love with my career, but I don't necessarily love working. You have student loans and you got a lot of things. And so I've only been to the studio one time. It was a special treat.
Yeah.
And it was phenomenal. It was 100% worth it. I met Nicole, the trainer, who ran an exceptional class with what are those things called? The bands.
Yeah.
The fun, colorful things. So, and she really took care of me in that class. And then on my way out, as I was super red faced and sweaty and everything, I ran into Tracy Dooley. Can you believe it?
That's amazing.
In my head, I'm thinking, of course, I'm alone when this is happening. Like, this is my first class ever. How lucky am I? Like, where are my sisters? I need everybody next to me. And I met them. And Penny, of course, too.
That's amazing.
Yeah. So I was super thrilled, and part of me feels like I don't know if I'll get that good of an experience again, so maybe I shouldn't go back to the studio.
Right, you don't want a disaster.
Come on. Like, the first time ever somebody, Tracy Anderson's going to be there, it was pretty nuts.
Yeah. The dream experience.
I know. I felt super lucky. She actually took a selfie with me. But guess what? In my starstruckness, I forgot to take out my own phone. So I don't have a copy of this selfie.
Oh my gosh.
No, I'm so bummed. But you know what? It's out there in the world. It's out there in the universe that Tracy and I, our souls connected. I feel like.
Oh my God.
So, okay with that. And as for Vitality Week, I haven't been able to do that yet either. I think that one day I will, but it's really about timing and funding,
Right.
Which is hard to say because I don't know, a lot of people don't speak about money, but it is about funding. Even after the August challenge, for me, it was so hard to commit to $90 a month for streaming. Right. Or I eventually, got some more months in, right? But it's been so hard for me to commit that. But then I started thinking, like, this is for you.
Yeah.
It has to be done for you.
Yeah.
And so Vitality Week, from what I hear, I haven't actually looked. From what I hear, it's pretty pricey, and you gotta stay there. So I would love to do it. This whole week while I was cat sitting, thank God for this cat. This whole week while I was cat sitting for Aggie, I was using her studio and I was making my own little Vitality Week, and so I would love to do something like that. So it's a goal of mine, but just financially right now, definitely not something I can commit to.
Yeah. Well, you what would be your advice to someone that's new to the method at this point?
Well, 2 things. Number 1, don't compare yourself to those pros. They've been doing it for years. Even myself, as I'm in the studio, I'm watching Aggie do her workout. I'm like, oh my gosh, she's so toned. She gets these angles. has this intention about her movements, and I have to bring myself back to thinking like, hey, this is my space, this is my body, this is what I'm working with, and that's okay. And so that would be my first piece of advice, like drop the comparison. It's really just about you and how far you can take your body that day. The second piece is consistency. I had no idea about the power of consistency until this program, until August came, and I did it for a month, and it became more than a habit. It's like a lifestyle. So stick with it, be consistent, and I promise you the results will come. I promise you. You just can't make excuses. And I found myself making excuses all the time. But those two pieces would be my words of advice for the newbies. I'm still a newbie, by the way, so.
I was gonna ask if you've met Tracy, but we know the answer to that.
I met her, and she talked to me, and I couldn't believe it. I was starstruck. My face, like, for the first 3 minutes was just wide open, like.
So cool.
Yes.
Have you faced any challenges with doing the method since you started?
In the beginning, I think everybody has, like, logging on and streaming issues. But what really helped was getting the VHX app, which I didn't know about. But I used to get so frustrated that I'd be like, I'm leaving, I'm not doing it anymore. So the app helped. But honestly, in the beginning, I had a lot of lower back pain. So the moves, even from beginners, were difficult for me to accomplish. Sometimes I go back to my old videos and I can like see myself really wincing in pain, but trying, but wincing in pain. And so I feel like that was really hard because during those days, I really wanted to give up. I'm like, I don't know if I can handle this pain. Why am I putting myself through this? You just kind of want to lay down. When you're in that much pain, you just want to lay down and not do anything and try to make yourself feel better, And so even the moves were causing me some pain, and I had to find my own modifications. And so if she was doing some kind of lift, I might not do the lift, but still do the leg movement, So things like that, and eventually, because I was consistent, I was able to build up enough strength to be able to try the like harder and harder moves. Don't get me wrong, there's still so many that I can't do that I'm like, no, not happening. So, but that I think was my biggest difficulty. Like some of these moves are not easy for, especially somebody with a lot of lower back pain or maybe structural difficulties. Like my hips pop out all the time, and so they literally dislocate. And so some of these moves, like I've had to become aware of which of these moves are right for my body.
Yeah, that's definitely important. And your point about the consistency is huge. And you don't realize like that every part of your body becomes stronger and you become more balanced as you do it more. Like those differences will come. I mean, it might take, a few months or something, but they will come. Like for everyone that does the method, for sure.
Absolutely.
There's a couple of questions coming in the chat that are very interesting. One is, do you ever have wrist pain? And if so, how do you get over that?
There was a few weeks. I actually had to wear, what are those called? Like one of those bands that, it's like for carpal tunnel or something.
Yeah.
And so I was absolutely experiencing the wrist pain, which I was like, oh, I wasn't really getting that. So there must have been something in those moves or that like series of classes that week that was really affecting me. But the wristband absolutely helped. And here's the other thing, for somebody who is experiencing wrist pain, I noticed for me, the way that I was holding the weights was putting tension on something in there. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know what happens in there, but the way that I was holding the weights was affecting it. And so if I gripped it a little bit looser instead of tighter, but still do the movements, that helped me. Or I would just, drop the weight for that week.
Yeah, that's a good point too. And I think a lot of people, just if you're not used to doing moves like this, have wrist pain and knee pain and things like that in the beginning, that they go away. Those parts of you become strong too. Like your wrists literally get stronger. I mean,
Yes.
Every single part of your body.
Yes. In the beginning, I would have mat burn. It was
right.
My knees were all of a sudden scraped. I'm like, did I fall? Mm-hmm. And I realized it was from, some of the moves on the mat. But that all goes away.
Yeah. So Kristen has a really cool question for you. If you were a superhero, what would your superpower be?
Probably more time in my day. I always want more time in my day. I want more time to spend time with my wife. I want more time to cook an actual dinner at home.
Right.
I want more time to do, an extra class. Mm-hmm. So I would extend time. That's like selfish. I don't know. Although, like me, I would find another job with my time. I don't know.
I don't think you need 5 jobs.
Yeah, I'll stick with the 4. But I think that's something that I always want. So, just more time for everybody.
Yeah. Definitely. JC has another question for you. She's got a lot of questions.
Great.
Do you do the bonus material, and which centric are you?
I have no idea what that means about centric. I'm not that far. I'm still a newbie. I think that I'm omnicentric, but I can't tell you. So I do the bonus pieces, the bonus content. Recently, I've been doing the 7-minute ab thing. Phenomenal. My abs were burning for 3 days. I know. And then I tried the glute centric because there was a post that I had. I was on a chair, and I was like, "What's going on with this chair, man?" And so I tried those, and I really liked them, a lot. And I want to incorporate them a little bit more.
Okay.
It's just so hard, trying to get it all in. I mean, you all know what it's like.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. We just need more time.
Yeah. For sure.
What is your favorite thing about the method?
Good question. 2 things. 1, I love the variability. I love that every week is something new, that we're doing new moves, we're using different muscles in our body. It really keeps me from getting bored. And I tend to jump around things in my own life anyway. So I really love the variability that the online streaming piece really affords me, right? And I love the support. I'm a super social person, and so the Tamily is having that backing and that motivational piece. So, in the mornings, I on my commute into work, I scroll through your pages, and I'm looking at these things, marveling, wow, some of these girls already got their workout in, even though they've been sick for a week or whatever the case may be. And then even when I post, the simple heart from somebody that I know has been experiencing, the same, back pain I've been experiencing or struggle on a certain move, that piece has been really helpful for me. And again, I think that's because I'm a social person. I know that the Tamily isn't as moving or as inspirational for everybody, although I would assume it is. So those are the 2 big pieces that I really love about this method, and I think are what is keeping me consistent. The fact that it's variable, there's a lot to choose from. So if I'm not feeling one class, I can choose another.
Yes.
And the ongoing support, that's never changing.
Absolutely. Yeah. Okay, we have the star question of the interview to ask you. It's from Aggie, and she said, you are the happiest and most confident woman I know. At 29 years old, what do you owe this success?
Oh, man. That's a really hard question. Also, I hate how I'm going to yell at her after this. Just so not cool, man. Not cool. answer because, well, I don't know, it's just a really hard question. I would have to say it it comes from, I am generally really happy. Um, and I think it's because I'm able to reach out for help and support when I feel like I need it. And I trust that I have that support and that I'll be able to find that support. And for me, it comes in different ways. It comes from my family, my sisters. It comes from Maggie, right? But I'm able to do that in all of the areas of my life where if I'm struggling at work, I'm reaching out to my coworkers. If I'm struggling with something more personal, I'm definitely reaching out to my family. And being able to like have that energy come flowing through other people, that's always been something that's kept me up. So I think that's where what I would say keeps me happy. I guess my family, the people that I surround myself with, that's what I owe my success to. That's what keeps me going.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So now we have a question about being a twin from someone who is a triplet. So,
number one, who's the triplet? I need to know you.
Triplet.
Oh, I don't know.
So exciting. Katie Instatam. So if you two don't follow each other, you got to start.
I do follow Katie.
Yeah, did you know she was a triplet?
No.
She's a triplet. So her question is, do you have any twin connections? Feel each other's pain, finish each other's sentences, etc.
I mean, sometimes when people ask this question, which you are probably not asking that question this way, but they think that we have like some kind of telepathy where we know what each other is thinking or something like that, or like I can hear her thoughts. That kind of stuff definitely does not happen. But with my twin, I have a very different connection than with all my other siblings. And I can tell you that it is an emotional connection or an energy connection. I don't know. So like, for instance, if she's having a really bad day at work or something really stressful is going on in her life, I will have a really bad day as well. And there could be no stress. There's nothing really affecting my day, but my mood will just be shot. And I won't really know what's going on. I'm like, geez, why am I in such a bad mood? I can't get myself out of this funk. And then, at night or throughout the day when I call her, she's like, I'm having the worst day. And I'm like, oh, gotcha. Like, you got to fix that because it's affecting me. so that really, it does actually really happen. Yeah. And another weird thing, we have very similar dreams on the same night.
Really?
Isn't that crazy?
That is wild.
Similar dreams. I don't know where that comes from. Maybe that's just the me and her thing. I don't think all twins have the same dreams, but like down to the details, we have very similar dreams.
Oh my gosh, that is so cool.
Yeah, it's
and
kind of
crazy.
Yes. Yeah.
Well, that's exciting stuff to learn.
Yeah. We want to work out together all the time and we don't get a chance to. So anytime that we do, randomly we start showing up very twinny. Like we're in the same outfit. I'm like, you gotta change. It's not cool. Yeah.
Okay, our next question is, what advice have you received from someone in the Tamily that has been impactful to you?
Impactful? Well, I mean, whenever I post something about a difficult move, I get advice all the time, which I find that really helpful. But it's impactful for that week when I'm doing that move, right? Or maybe every now and then it transfers to another week. But I would say just like the overall concept of Tamily has been what's been really impactful to me. This idea that women can support other women or individuals can support other individuals and meet them where they're at. And consistently support, people around the world. Like that to me has been the most impactful, just because it's changed the way that I connect with people. You know, like I think with social media, there's room always to be critical.
Yeah.
Or to criticize, and and that just doesn't happen within this community. And so for me, it's given me this very real example of, hey, you can share the love, you can share the support, and like the world will still be okay. You don't have to be a mean person.
Yeah.
And so I think I've been able to carry that out into even outside the family, into my world.
Yeah, we do all want to change the world for the better through the positivity of the Tamily. It sounds crazy, but it's totally possible. We're doing it.
It's such a great example, really.
Do you have a particular motivational quote that you rely on or would like to share with the Tamily?
A motivational quote. I don't know if it's necessarily motivational, but something that really keeps me grounded is the idea that you don't have to compare yourself to others. You are worthwhile and you are enough with wherever you are starting with whoever you are. And you don't need to compare yourself to, the person who has the better leggings or better weights or the person who, can put their leg up higher or something like that. The fact that you are who you are, that's enough. And so for me, that's motivating because, for some people it might be hard to look at all the images and the videos that people are uploading thinking like, oh, I don't have a house as beautiful as Glow Tam Glow or Go Glow. I know she has a house or whoever it is, right? And so you don't need that. You could do it in your dirty old office like I do. Or you can, find a piece of cardboard. That's really what's motivating for me. Like, you're enough, and just be present in who you are.
That's great advice.
It's not really a great quote, though. I'll tell you. I wish it was like a Benjamin Franklin quote or something. I don't have anything like that.
No. Be real.
Yeah.
Paul has a question for you. What does your perfect day look like? What would you want to do, and who would you spend it with?
I'm lucky enough that I'm able to create some perfect days for myself. So, like yesterday, I had a perfect day. How random, right? So yesterday, I went to work. I drove into work. I usually don't, but I drove into work with my wife, and I was able to have a nice conversation, have some coffee with her on our ride in, and then I got my workout in, and then I just kind of, even though I had a mountain of work to do, I made time for myself throughout the day. So I went to my favorite coffee shop and had some espresso and did things like that. And then I found myself going to the grocery store, which most people find like, I hate going to the grocery store. But for me, the idea of like, hey, I can go to a grocery store and buy something so I can make some dinner when I get home and spend some more time with my wife. I don't know, those things are special to me, and so it's really about like creating the perfect day. I will tell you that any of my perfect days do have a workout in them. They have some type of moment or several moments where I can move and stretch and like feel my body.
Yes.
So I think that's definitely a foundation of my perfect days, and then spending it with people that I love.
Yeah, that's a great point about including the workout. Sometimes people say like, why do you guys work out on vacation? Why are you so crazy? Like, don't you want to break from it? It's not something you want to break from.
It's not. Yeah, I mean, even this past week where it was Ange-tality week, I hope you like that. Even this past week, I was kind of off my regular routine, and so it's interesting to me that my diet was off because I was out of my routine, but my workouts were not. And so I think that like keeping something very consistent, no matter where you are, if you're on vacation, if you're not, that's really
exactly.
Yeah.
We kind of know the answer to this one, but I still want to ask it anyway. Where do you live and what do you do?
How do you know where I live?
Well, I know where you're at right now.
Yeah, I live in. Well, I was born and raised in Queens, New York, like borderline Brooklyn, Queens. But right now, my wife and I live in Long Island, and but I work up in Harlem, and I'm a psychologist.
So
yeah, I'm a psychologist. So when I first started streaming, something that's interesting is I was almost embarrassed to post. I was like, I don't want people thinking that I'm doing this in the office. Like my clients come here, and I don't want them thinking it's weird that I have a yoga mat out or whatever it is. But quickly I realized if this is part of me being healthy, like mind and body, then why would I want to hide that from the people that I work with?
Right.
Or why would I want to hide that from my family or anything like that? And so,
right.
So I've actually chosen to keep my page public because even if somebody stumbles on it, I think to myself like, what I'm doing is about health, like physical, emotional, mental well-being. It's about health. So why would I, pretend that I don't do this for myself?
Right.
It's about being a role model.
Yeah, exactly. And you're an amazing example because, it just shows, like, you shouldn't have an excuse. You can figure out how to make it work. Like, from the people doing it at 4 a.m. to people doing it on their lunch hour to at night, it's something for you. And it's something to be respected, not to, like, be, embarrassed.
Absolutely. Like, I totally value all of the moms who do these workouts because you've got like these little kids running around.
Yeah.
And it's so easy for all of us to fall into this hole of like, oh, physical wellness is selfish. Go, I don't know, spend time with your kids or whatever it may be. But I think we need to realize that it's not selfish at all. In order for us to be present with our clients, with our partners, with our significant others, with our kids, whoever it is, we need to do this for ourselves. In order to be fully present with other people, you need to find something that grounds you, that keeps you mentally and physically healthy so that you can be with the people you love the best that you can.
Absolutely. It is totally about health. And if you think about, and especially like you as such an example in, a short time frame, obviously there's lots of people that have done the method for years and years and years, but to see like those type of results and just to even see like how you glow and appear to be healthy and appear to be happy and confident, and to know that, some of that comes from the fact that you're moving every day and it's impactful to, your cardiovascular health and your strength, and it's like, obviously so much more beyond like other physical results. Like it's seriously about wellness and balance.
Absolutely. The physical movement, not to get all like sciencey on you, but it impacts your neurotransmitters. It impacts hormones that are being released into your body. The feel-good hormones of endorphins, of serotonin, of norepinephrine. All of that is being released to help you feel better, to help you de-stress, and so oftentimes we think of it as selfish, but in reality, like, you need that in order to do your best in all those other domains of your life.
Exactly.
So,
and you're an expert, so we should listen about the psychological effects of the workout for sure.
It's really, it's unbelievable. It is unbelievable. Even my sisters, when they're going through a tough time, and let's say, oftentimes, like, throwing away your workout is the easiest thing to let go. If you're feeling stressed, if you're feeling strapped for time, it's easy to be like, I just won't work out. That's an extra hour in my day. But my sisters will often say, if I don't work out, I'm even more depressed. I'm even more stressed out. Right? And I talk to them all the time about consistency. Like, you got to keep it up.
Yep, exactly.
So, yeah, it's a really powerful thing. Like, physical movement is a really powerful connection to your mind. So,
we have another question for you. I'm not telling you who said it.
It better not be my sister-in-law.
It's a mystery. If you had to give a commencement speech at a college, what would you tell the graduates?
Oh God, why is she doing this to me? Oh. What would I tell the graduates? Well, I'm thinking about like when I'm actually teaching graduate courses and what I often tell my students at the end. But I'm teaching in a very specific discipline, and I often say, like, fall in love with what you do. Like, make this more than just a career. Like, really fall in love with what you do. But if I had to give a commencement speech to a full college, I hate her for asking me this, I would say, I would expand that to general life. Like, really find the people, the crew that support you and fall in love with them. If somebody's energy is not matching, not meshing, and it's not driving you forward, then they're not meant to be part of your, and the same with jobs, and the same with just the energy that you surround yourself with. Like, be empowered to create your own and to fall in love with it.
That is a very, very wonderful message.
Yeah.
Glad it was asked.
Now, can we just take her off the live feed? Just take her off, because
I can
actually
delete people from the live stream. I can. I'm not going to though. We do want to know from you if there are other people in the Tamily that you want us to interview, and we'll reach out to them.
Ooh, I didn't know that was a common question. Oh, yes, I know who. I don't know if you already did it. You probably didn't. There is Tamily. Okay, he is this super cool guy. I want to know him. I have a total friend crush. I want to get to know him.
Okay.
My sisters are much shyer than me, so they probably won't come. And even one of our best friends, Mans, she's shyer than I am, so they probably won't do it. But Tamily, total friend crush.
Okay.
I want to see Go Glow.
Yeah.
I mean, keep trying to get my sister-in-law to do it. You know why? It's going to be revenge time. Wait till you see the kinds of questions I ask her.
Yeah. All right, I'll message her every day.
Yeah. Just keep sending the messages. I'll try to motivate her.
Nicole said Tamily is already on the list, so we are.
Yes, I'm so excited. Let me see who else. I have a list of people I wanted to shout out that I love. Can we start interviewing trainers, Nicole?
We can definitely ask. Definitely.
Right? Let's do it. Trainers. And you have to interview my girl, Tam from England.
Okay.
Come on. She's so fantastic.
Okay. I think somebody might have suggested her before, too, so we'll definitely reach out if Nicole hasn't already.
And my Hawaiian girl, Panda.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I think she is actually. She might be coming up, I think. Nicole. Yes. So Nicole.
So excited. Oh, and Monica Whispers. Get her too.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
I know. Tell her that if it convinces her, tell her I'll do it with her.
Okay. That would be so fun. Absolutely. Yeah. We should do, partner interviews. Absolutely. So we have another question for you in the chat. And Instagram is going to cut us off in 5 minutes. So we just want to make sure we get everything in that time. So if you could talk to your 15-year-old self, this is a great question, what would you tell yourself?
Oh, that's hard. My 15-year-old self was not out yet. And definitely not the person I am today. I wouldn't say I was as confident or just okay with being me. I would tell my 15-year-old self it's okay to be visible. It's okay to be seen. And that you will be accepted with who you are and how you look and what you believe in and who you love and whoever you are. You will find the love. You will create the love around you. And so it is okay to be visible. You don't have to hide.
Oh.
But I would tell my 15-year-old self.
That's It's really good.
Yeah.
I think I would say the same thing to my 15-year-old self.
Yeah. Yeah, actually, interestingly, Aggie is one of the first people I came out to. How funny is that?
Oh,
Talk
really?
about talk about creating support for yourself, man.
Absolutely. It's come full circle. She's also brought a workout to you.
Forget it. She's brought so many things. It's crazy. Yeah, I could cry when I think about it. So, but that's what I would tell myself, I think.
Well, thank you very much for sharing with us and being so open and so fun. We have just a few moments left. Is there any final word you would like to share with the Tamily while you have this audience?
I guess the same words that I would tell my 15-year-old self. Be visible. And if you can post about it, I am going to love it. And the rest of us will love it. So whatever age you are, whatever size you are, wherever you live, wherever you work out, however busy you are, if you can only complete half a workout, post about it. Because we're a community and we're all human and that's all part of our lives. And so I want to get to know you. That's what I would tell Tamily.
Awesome. That's perfect. Thank you. Thank you so much. And
thanks so much, Suzanne.
Absolutely. I'm going to share the interview. It's going to be on Instagram for 24 hours. And then we're going to put it on YouTube where it will be forever.
Oh, man. Okay. All right. Well, thanks so much for spending Saturday with me.
Absolutely. Have a great weekend.
You too.
Bye-bye. Bye, Tamily.